Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. I hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling start to Winning Wednesday. Yes, that day of the week where we celebrate your wins for the week, although you should always be celebrating your wins. When your wins occur, celebrate them and move forward. Keep moving, keep that momentum going. If you stop, you've got that amazing feeling because you've just had this incredible win, whether it's in a sports that you play, if it's a game board that you play, if it's a goal you've achieved, if it's a contract you've won, whatever the win is, if you stop and go, that's a really good feeling, I'm enjoying this, it's going to get harder to get started again. So keep that moving forward. Yesterday we were talking about making those changes, and as long as you keep moving forward, keep that forward momentum going, it's like riding a bike up a hill. If you think about riding a bicycle up a hill, what happens? You struggle, but you just keep moving. And if you stop, what happens? You stop, you get there and you're like, I gotta take a break, and you stop. Now what happens? When you try to get going, it is harder to get moving again than it was at the bottom, because now you're on the incline and you're still going up the hill and you still need to get to the top, and it is much harder to start again when you're halfway up the hill or a third of the way up the hill. Just put it this way, it's harder to start again when you're on the slope of the hill trying to get to the top. So keep that momentum going, because the more wins you get, the more feeling, the greater you're going to feel, the more energized you're going to feel, the faster you're going to be pedaling that bike up to the top of the hill, and the next thing you know, you're going to be at the top of the hill where you get to zoom down the other side and start up the next one. So keep that forward momentum going. When you have your wins, keep it going. Remember that feeling. Take it with you. Use it to energize your attack on the next hill that you're going to be tackling for your next goal. So let us know what your wins are for this week. And then I have to tell you, I had a wake-up call at just after 3 a.m. this morning. Zephy decided that she needed to go outside just after 3 o'clock this morning. Now, I can't remember the last time. I know that there's been 1 or 2 times since I got her, because the first 2 nights after I adopted her, she wanted to go out in the middle of the night more than once. And it was just her getting settled in, just getting to know the area. But after, and like the third night she was with us, she slept through the night. And so she'd been sleeping through the night then. And there's only been 1 or 2 other times since then that she's wanted to go out in the middle of the night. So this is a very rare thing. And she woke me up out of a very deep sleep just after 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I woke up, and because of the way I got, but she still did it gently, because she just nudged me and whined a little louder until I started, what, sat up and went, what's going on? And she sat there and just started whining at me, and then she took off, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked at the clock, and it was like 3:02 or 3:04 or somewhere around there. It was before 3:05, I know that much. And so I was like, oh, please. And then she comes back and jumps up on the bed again and like paws at my hand. And I'm like, well, this is really weird behavior. And then she takes off again. So I get up to go see where she is, and she's laying at the top of the steps by the door, looking at the door. Like, and then she looks at me and looks back at the door. I'm like, okay, I got the message. So got changed out of the PJs, put through some clothes on. We went out, and I said, this is not going to be a walk. It's just so you can go down to the grass area. And normally when we go out of the RV to the ramp, she normally goes to the left, which is the longer walk down the street to where the grass patch is. This time she went straight to the right, because we've only got an RV site and then 3 houses to the grass. The other way we've got a few more RV sites. And so she just automatically went to the right and went down there and did her thing. But I could tell that she wasn't done yet. And so she was wanting to go for a walk. I'm like, no, we're staying around here where it's well lit. And so she went across the road to the other patch of grass there and finished off her business and everything else. I was like, okay. And then she wanted to go for a walk. I'm like, no, we're going back to bed. And so we get back inside and I get changed to get back into bed. What she's doing, she is curled up on the bed, sound asleep, while I'm still like getting changed so I can get back into bed again. I get back into bed. I could not get back to sleep. I finally started drifting off. I don't even know what time it was. I finally started drifting off, and all of a sudden, next thing I knew, my alarm clock's going off. I'm like, damn it. So I was trying to get to sleep. It wasn't working, so I did read for a little bit. just enough to mindset with the body, getting it into the rhythm of going back to sleep again. Now I know what I did wrong. I was on the wrong side. I was sleeping on my wrong side. Yeah, because I should have been on my left side, not my right side. That's probably what it was. But anyway, so did my routine thing there to help me get back to sleep, and read a couple of pages of my book and put it down and rolled over and went back to sleep. And now I just realized I rolled onto my right side instead of my left side, which is what I normally roll onto after I have finished reading. And that's probably why I didn't go back to sleep so easily. But anyway, so yeah, I'm a little tired right now. And I have a full day ahead of me today. So it's going to be fun. We're going to be fine. We're going to get through it. It's all good. So your tell your story question of the day. And I have some dark chocolate coffee beans, espresso beans in my refrigerator. And I know the dark chocolate and I know they're espresso beans. But these ones I am very good at rationing. I only take them when needed. Sounds like I'm taking medication. So I'll probably go pop a couple of those later on this morning to help keep me awake for the rest of the day. But I do have those available if needed. And they just sit there and they do not get disturbed unless I absolutely need to have a caffeine boost. But yeah, dark chocolate covered espresso beans. They are so good. Oh, I don't want to eat too many of those because one, I would get really, really, really dehydrated and I would be wired like crazy. I'll either be wired like crazy or I'll be out cold. Because caffeine's actually what's the word? Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, on to things because I got to get to work. Tell your story question of the day. What was your favorite outdoor activity to do when you were growing up? Was it being outside playing? Did you have a tree house or a fort? Did you like going for bike rides? Did you have sports that you played that was outside? Did you just like being outside hanging with your friends? Did you like going on picnics, going on hikes? Let's see what else. Going to the beach, going to the lake, the rivers. What was your favorite outdoor activity when you were growing up? And yes, you can have more than one. It doesn't just have to be one. I liked picnics, except on beaches when the wind was blowing, because then the sand would get in my sausages that were just cooked over the fire. I did not like sandy sausages. But I liked going. But at that point, I kind of sort of liked going to the beaches. Later on, I got fed up with that loose sand, getting into places I shouldn't get into. But I liked going for picnics. I liked going for the bike rides. We did some great bike rides with my friend, and I would pack up our lunch, put it into a plastic container on the back of our bikes, along with whatever we were going to take with us, with our drink bottles. And off we'd set, and we'd go out for the afternoon or something on our bikes and go out into the countryside and stop somewhere and have and sit on the side of the road and have our sandwiches. And this was the day before helmets on bikes, bicycles, before you had to have, before it was required to wear the cycling helmets. And we'd just go find somewhere to sit and have our picnic, and it was just a really nice way to spend a day. And our rule in the house was, if it's not raining, outside. So I had my little favorite place I like to go and sit and read. But yeah, I actually loved being outside. I like being outside. I like to have windows open and fresh air blowing in. It's a little hard to do that here in Arizona when it's 100 and something degrees outside. Yeah, I like it a little cooler than triple digits. But it's going to be nice come in about a month, and come around October. It's going to be nice because I'll be able to put the chairs outside. I'll be able to sit out there during the day. I'm going to get a stake to put into the ground for Zeffie's lead. So she'll have a long lead while we're out there, and she'll only be on that lead when we're outside. And I've got like a 15-foot lead, I think it is. And I'm going to put a stake into the ground, get a stake to put into the ground for that to anchor to. So because she tends to get herself tangled up with the way I do it right now. And it'll give her a few more inches on the lead as well. But I'd like sitting outside and reading. It's nice. And sometimes I've now got I don't know what took me so long. I've now got a anti-glare screen on my laptop, which means I can take that outside. I can supposedly take it outside now, and I can actually work from outside. So that would be kind of nice to be able to do that too. But yeah, the fact that we'll be able to go sit outside and enjoy the outside air, and although the air quality today is crap. But even having the windows open in the RV and allowing it to air out, it's probably one thing I'm annoyed about at the moment, is that I haven't been able to have the windows open or the doors open because there's been no right weather to do it. And I love it when I can open windows and doors and just have the breeze blowing through and like clearing out the air inside. So I'm looking forward to that. So if there was any activity outside, I probably enjoyed doing it. I played cricket for the school team. Cricket's a sport that not many Americans know about, but it's a fun sport. People call it long and boring. It depends on whether you're doing a 3-day match, a 5-day match, a 3-day match, a 1-day match, or they've now got a new 3-hour match. Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. What else did I enjoy doing? Reading, biking, walking. I did a lot of walking when I was a kid. Just like being outside. We loved going up on the mountain, although don't tell my parents that. Us kids used to kick up a performance that we had to go hiking on the mountains, on Sundays after church. They'd say, all right, we're going to go up the mountains after church. And but they put up with the whining and the whinging and the whining from us kids, because they knew that if they got us once they got us on the mountains and gave us some lunch and then we went off hiking, that we would have a blast, which we did. We bitched and moaned about it, but we had a blast walking the trails on the mountain. We never did go up to the summit or anything else, but there was a lot of really nice walking trails about halfway up the mountain that were really pretty and fun, and you got to do the 2-wire bridge. There was the swing bridges. There was the 3-wire bridge. The 3-wire bridge, you have 1 wire at the bottom and you have 2 up here to hang on to as you walk across. Swing bridges were about this wide for your feet, and you had to stand on it had a wire mesh thing across it, but they had the struts going across these metal pieces, and that's where you were to put your boot, and you'd get a rhythm walking across. And if you wanted to upset somebody, you would step on while they were walking across it. It's just before they got to the other end, and you would start your own rhythm and would upset their rhythm. So yeah, there's actually a rhythm for walking across the swing bridge. And then we had the 2-wire ones, one at the bottom, one at the top. And we got plenty of practice with that one at home, because Dad built this wooden platform down the back, and that was our fort. And he had this 2-rope bridge going off it to a post at the end, and so we got plenty of practice on that with that. But when I was in the Air Force on our boot camp, our recruit course, we were taken on the obstacle course. I never made it over the 6-foot wall. That was one. But one of the things they had us do was doing the single rope bridge, and you had a rope that was attached to a tree on the side that you were walking from. So you're hanging onto this rope, and you've got a single wire that you're walking across, and you have to let this rope out as you walk across and try and keep the tension on that and try and keep your feet on the single wire. So many of us ended up wet. A lot of us ended up wet. I think we may have had 1, maybe 2 people that actually made it across on our flight. But the rest of us ended up wet because it was a really hard thing to do. And of course, you've got the rope behind. The rope was tied behind us, up on a tree, and we just had to walk out. We had to go across, but we had this rope that we had to maintain the tension on to help us maintain balance, which didn't always work. Yeah, it was fun, but it was actually a pretty good obstacle course. So yeah, there was only 2 obstacles. I never made it. They told us that we had to get over the 6-foot wall in order to pass. I never made it over. I had no upper body strength at that point. I didn't have any upper body strength, even though I'd been coaching gymnastics at that point for 4 years. I had no upper body strength. So trying to get me to scramble up. I had great strength in my legs, but no upper body strength. Nothing in the shoulders. So that changed many years later when I actually went to the gym and worked out and actually worked on my shoulders and triceps and that stuff. But anyway, so what things did you enjoy doing as an outdoor activity? And do you still do any of those outdoor activities today? That's a good question for you. What outdoor activity did you enjoy when growing up? And are there any that you still do today? And are there any that when you're thinking back over this, you go, oh yeah, I used to do that. Why don't I do that now? So are there any that are like that as well? Anyway, I'm out of here. I got to go work. So have a super fantastic, sparkling, winning Wednesday, and we'll catch you guys back here around 6 p.m. this evening. Hei konara.